Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We are back for some more F124 driver career mode for round number 14 of the Belgium Grand Prix. And if you not check out the last video, please go check that out below. It was the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that was a bit of a meme weekend, but we're gonna actually take things more seriously at this point. Kind of meme that weekend after the game glitches and everything like that. But hopefully our revenge tour comes back. No more memes. Full push, hopefully no more glitches. But well, after our disqualification from last race, we actually got a meeting. So someone wants to sign us, and judging that is Mercedes. So Mercedes have approached. They are agreeing to be wanting my services for next year. Someone is leaving. Is it Hamilton? Is it Russell? I mean, Hamilton's leaving for Ferrari for next year in real life, but is he also leaving for Ferrari in this career mode save? Is he? Mercedes have sent a proposal. Well, not really a proposal, but yeah, well, Mercedes is 5th in the Constructors. We're not far off, but they actually have a decent car. It's just their drivers aren't performing well, so this is the best offer we've had, so I'm going to continue talks. I am very interested, and I will explain why.
Socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well too. I know, I'm amazing. You're welcome.
My agent is amazing. She's protecting us from Alpine. But the reason why I'm interested is because now they may be 5th in the standings, but again, they're looking to be the 4th fastest team, but they're actually not bad in the R&D. They actually have, I believe, the 3rd quickest car. It just depends on their drivers. Clearly Russell, and you can see right there, I mean, they have almost great ERS upgrades. That is just crazy. I believe that is ERS. It might be engine. But yeah, I mean, again, Mercedes is cooking. You know, I'm willing to chat. I still have probably an option on the table with Alpine. I've met my contract target, so it feels like Alpine is still willing to extend my contract, but it depends on my decision. Maybe Bruno Famin is going to be pissed off, but that was actually engine. Mercedes have the 2nd best engine. That is crazy. To be fair, Mercedes always had a good engine, but that's actually really good. And again, they're sitting 2nd in the performance index. That is third. That's not bad. That's really not bad at all. But yeah, we'll talk about Mercedes maybe in a future episodes. Maybe when we go back to our next meeting, we'll talk more about it. But let's get back to our track. We have our job on our hands. We're still racing with Alpine. We can't get too excited. We need to keep up our consistency, and we need to score some big points for Alpine. But the last race before the summer break, well, things could get worse as Haas have a major upgrade package come on the car, and they've overtaken us in the standings. Not standings, in R&D development. So we now drop to the 3rd worst car. To be fair, they don't know what's coming when we got our big upgrades coming on. But yeah, so around Spa, brand new Spa circuit, brand new updated, rainy qualifying session. Let's see what happens.
Heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
Here we are, ready for qualifying here on a Saturday, and it's going to be a wet qualifying and also a wet race this weekend. And, well, to be fair, wet is not really my strongest point, but as we go on track, though, it's not inters, it's actually dries, and I'm not even complaining because getting dry laps in on the soft tires is pretty good. It's not raining too bad, but I'm surprised the track's not getting too wet. It should get wet later into the session, but that dry line is still available. It's a little bit wet in some places. I've actually seen the spray, but yeah, it's not bad at all. So we just keep on pushing, but again, to be fair, it's going to be very greasy, so it's going to be difficult, and especially around brand new Spa circuit. Actually, I haven't done many laps around this place, so this is kind of, I want to say my first laps, but qualifying and everything like that, I mean, the car felt pretty good. Getting used to the circuit though, which is which I'm happy this track got an update because it needed it. But yeah, it's I gotta remember to kind of stay out, because to be fair, in last year's game, the curbs were crazy, and that was very wide. That was actually not track limits, considering that we kind of went off the limits there. But again, you don't have to, don't really touch the curbs on the inside, because you're just kind of lose the cars. So I've been trying to get better at, like, okay, maybe not touching the curbs but taking the outside curves. But heading through this place, like I said, heading almost as we head towards Blanchimont we go, it's a crazy track. I mean, this track has had this track is probably one of my favorite tracks on the F1 calendar. I've always had a love for Spa, and especially around this weekend, I'm actually very happy to keep on continuing. Well, to be fair, I always look forward to this race weekend. It's not a sprint weekend, thankfully, so that makes me happy, and I am not bad. But it's headed to the bus stop chicane, and that is our first lap done. And well, to be fair, it wasn't a great lap. It's actually 6/10 down on Kevin Magnussen, looks like, or it might be maybe the top guys. So maybe we should have went out a little bit earlier when the track was good. But well, it's not just us, because well, Bottas, Ricardo, Sargent, they're also struggling as well. Even my teammate Gasly, and he's struggling as well. But yeah, we sit P15. We're just on the cusp, just on there. Alonso is 14th, but yeah, Gasly is 16th. So we got to give it some. We got to give it some more gas. And heading towards Pouan. Again, track is fairly wet, but we found a full-blown second. To be fair, we've been finding more confidence in the rain. Very wide through Pouan once again, but no track limits violation. I think it's because we let off the gas. We lost a little bit of time, which I guess is kind of a little bit of a strat, I guess you could say, as we head through Campos. Or if I probably said that wrong. But we keep on going. But yeah, almost a full second on this lap. So the track is maybe improving a little bit, or I'm just finding a lot of time. I am on a brand new set of soft tires, which is kind of the reason why we're finding so much time. But yeah, well, we're sitting P19 and P20, so Pierre, I believe, just crossed the line. I think Pierre's out of qualifying, so Pierre Gasly's having an absolute stinker, but we should maybe get into Q2 here. It's going to be tight, so into the bus stop chicane. It's going to be very tight, but we have to be easy on the throttle here, take as much curb as we can, just come across, check a flag. Do we make it into Q2? I believe we think so. I think it's just by enough, and it is. We're into Q2, P14 that lap. That is fairly decent, considering to where the car is right now. P14, that's not bad. I'll take that. I wish I was higher up, but to be fair, the rain is not really my best friend. But yeah, Alonso with an absolute lap time. Alex Albon second. Are you all right, mate? Ricardo, Bottas, and Zhou. What in the hell are they cooking? They cooked something, but there's some shockers. Charles Leclerc is out. Sergio Perez is out of qualifying as well. We're gonna have a mixed-up grid for Sunday. Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, my teammate, is starting dead last. He's 3 seconds off the pace. 2 seconds off of me. What the hell happened to you, Pierre? Come on, man. Well, time for the second run, and well, second lap. Well, first run actually. Track limit violation to go for a second run. We actually sit P12 as we head through La Source, and for our third and final run of this qualifying lap. And like I said, it's Q3 is gonna be tight. We gotta find a lot of time. It's head through Rouge and head through Raidillon we go, and heading towards the Kemmel Straight we go. And to be fair, this car's we're a little bit down on power this week, and actually forgot to change the engine a little bit, so we're gonna be struggling a little bit. The ICE is pretty worn out as we head through the Les Combes chicane, and again, very nice to go through Les Combes. Not spinning out, because in last year's game you couldn't touch those curbs, because well, any curb you touch in real life you would just spin out clearly. So we keep on going as heading through turn 11 we go, very wide through there, a little bit on the gas. I don't know what I'm doing, but we've actually made some contact with the gravel, and that is the reason why gravel traps bite you, and we have just found out why. And to be fair, the track was getting very wet, and we're out of qualifying here, and that is going to be P13 on the grid. That was a massive, that was kind of a dumb mistake. I should have let off the gas a little bit. I thought I would have made it. Well, like I said, the punishing, again, this track, again, very punishing. especially with the gravel. And I like that because, again, it punishes you and it punishes the driver. And unfortunately, we have met those circumstances. So yeah, it's P13. We got to get full beams for the race. But to be fair, if it dries off, if it's not fully wet, I think we can cook.
Welcome then, as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps is a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 rights and 10 lefts, giving us a grand total of 19 corners. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in the conditions, we're not going to be seeing anything like that today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Stroll, Albon, Ricciardo, Joe, Cowboy, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Leclerc, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Sergio Perez completes our grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you know, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, you know, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, you know, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Welcome to the grid for the Belgium Grand Prix around Spa. Again, fan favorite track, but it is a, well, it's going to get dry later in the session. Looks like it's going to be full wet, not full wet, it's going to be intermediate conditions. To be fair, it does look pretty dry out there, which, again, but judging, I'm not going to change my strategy because we've changed strategies multiple times, and look what's happened. Look what happened in Spain, look what happened in Hungaroring, look what happened in, I don't know what other track, we had some sort of issue. But, well, mixed up grid, because some guys are going hards. Some guys are on inters. Saubers, V-Carbs, Alpine, they're on inters. We're on inters. The top 5 and a couple of the other guys, they've went hard tires. We got a mixed up strategy here on the grid. So who's going to be faster? Is it going to be the guys in the inters or the guy in the hards? Here we go for the 5 relays here around Spa. 22 laps around this forest, and lights out and away we go. And it is a decent start, but look at the inters, guys. They're getting such a good run. Ricciardo is absolutely getting a good run. As we hit down the inside into La Source, and Ricciardo gets a big squeeze, and we touched the inside curb, and no broken wing. That was a big squeeze by Daniel, which I wish I got more room there, but there's always contact. I feel like always down to La Source. Look what happened to Carlos Sainz and Oscar Piastri back in last year's Grand Prix. But we learned how we head through average running how we go. But the inter guys are pouncing on the guys on the hard tires. So inters are the way to go. I don't know what they're doing, but here comes Carlos Sainz on the camel straight as we go. Bottas and Zhou and the Saubers are fighting side by side, but we got the better speed. We give Sainz a little squeeze heading through Lake Home, but we get around Sainz and we stay at P6 after a decent defense. But yeah, Ricciardo, he's got pace. Ricciardo's got pace. He's faster than these guys, and I'm around the outside of Daniel as possible. Daniel's defending the inside, so Ricciardo, who hasn't showed up much in this career mode, Bro has showed up today, and Prime Daniel is back in the V-Carb. Good for you, Daniel. Let's keep going. Because, to be fair, these Inter guys, everyone on the Inters, they're pouncing on the guy on the hard tires. So I don't know what they were doing, but they thought, okay, maybe it's dries, but it's slicks. It's not slicks, it's Inters right now. Clearly, the Inter guys are going in faster, but as we go later into this race, I expect the hard tires to come into play. But to be fair, the hard tires do struggle to warm up a lot, so to be fair, they could be struggling from some lap 1 issues with the hards trying to warm them up. But as you can see, Daniel, he's got great pace. Let's look at him go. Sainz is, well, to be fair, we are down on power, so I kind of expect him to be quick in the straight line. Our ICE is pretty worn out, I will say, so we might be a little bit struggling on the straights as we go, but heading through the bus stop chicane, Verstappen's in the pits. Verstappen is pitting. Did he get damage, or is he going Inters? Well, so we'll take a look what happens, but Piastri has the fast lap of the Grand Prix, but there's actually a couple guys pitting. So everyone, are they going Inters? Did they make the wrong strategy? They did, because they're going Inters. I don't know, but Ricciardo around the outside of La Source around George Russell, but let's see what happens to Verstappen. He's coming into the pits. I don't believe there's damage. I think he's pitting. I think he's pitting for intermediates, which I don't know why you want to go Inters, and they are going Inters. Red Bull go Inters, and they're actually going to be double stacking. I believe Perez is coming in as well, and that is Sainz that's coming into the pits. He's going Inters. And Leclerc comes in for Inters. What is going on in the pit lane? Inter tires, and they gambled on the hard tire, but clearly they got their data wrong, and they're on Inters. And some guys are staying on hard tires, so there is gambling going on down this grid. Ricciardo is in the podium places now. You know, thankfully he got it because obviously Verstappen, but Daniel is challenging Lando Norris for P2. And Piastri is leading this Grand Prix for McLaren. We have to catch up on Russell, but this is a great opportunity to pounce on George Russell. Ricciardo set the 155.7. Bottas with the 155. Yeah, everyone's going to be going fast on the Inter tires. Tsunoda sets the 155.1. We got the guys in the hards. They're not getting any pace. Ricciardo goes up into P2 now, and we chance up to P4, and ahead of George Russell on the intermediate tires. So yeah, the hard tire struggles. The drivers are really struggling to get any sort of temperature, just find pace. But here goes Lando Norris down the camel straight we go, and Bottas is going to be pouncing all over the George Russell, the man that took his seat at Mercedes back in 2022. Well, he is trying to get that seat back probably, because to be fair, who wants to sit in a kick Sauber? But a purple sector on Ricciardo around into the Lecombe chicane. He actually got ahead of Norris at the end. Ricciardo sits P2, so he's going to be taking on his fellow Australian for P1. What a race this has been so far. We're only on lap 4. What a race that it's been. But again, it's supposed to die off. The rain is supposed to die off around lap 5, maybe lap 6. So maybe the hard tire runners are going to be gaining a little bit. But Daniel's in the slipstream of Oscar Piastri. He's going to sit back and live to fight another day. But we're going to get around. Well, I was thinking about getting around Lando Norris, but we didn't really get to run in the straight there once again. But head through lap 4, now headed through lap 5, and well, it's not really raining that much anymore, and again, it's feeling like hard tires. It feels like maybe slick tires are going to be the option soon. I think lap 6, maybe lap 7 will be the time for the Inters, but well, this is the time where the Inters might start overheating. But Ricciardo around the outside. Daniel Ricciardo could be leading this race. Daniel Ricciardo is leading the Belgium Grand Prix on lap 5, and what a strategy it has been for Daniel. Prime Danny Rick is back clearly, but he's got his fellow Australian. The man that took his McLaren seat. He's fighting him, and we're taking a pounce on both McLarens. So both back markers are fighting the McLaren drivers. We go around the outside of Lecombe chicane, and we get around Lando Norris. Ricciardo and Piastri, they're side by side. Piastri stays ahead and lives to fight another day. But Daniel comes into the pits. I think it might be time for slicks, and I don't know why we didn't pit. I think we just kind of let back and let it happen. It's gonna be time for, and it is time for pits. Look at those tires. Tires are very hot. I didn't see on my dash. My dash didn't really tell me that my tires are warming up. But yeah, it's gonna be box this lap. I think we're gonna go. I think we go hard tires. I think that might be the strat. Mediums aren't gonna last to the end, and we can just go fully to the end on the hard tires. So we're gonna go hard. But yeah, Ricciardo, my teammate, comes in. I think the Saubers both came in. But yeah, I don't know what the Red Bulls were doing earlier, but Verstappen's in the bin because he pitted for inters and he's back in for hards. So I don't know the strategy that they had earlier, but it is time for slicks. And Piastri and Norris and Russell, they can stay out for as long as they can, but they are going to have to pit. It looks like they're going to go medium tires to the end, but they should pit for the mediums. But yeah, this is the crossover point. DRS finally, yeah, it's time to pit. Let's go into the pits now. And again, very tricky pit lane through here, but look at those rear tires, 27% obviously because they were overheating so much. As we head through into the pit lanes we go, and well, we need a good stop here from the Alpine boys. We cannot have any slow stops. We really have that many slow stops as we go into the pit lanes. Here we go, and tires are going up pretty well. We're getting held up a little bit slow on the rear right. It looks like very slow pit stop, but to be fair, the kick Sauber also comes in as well. I believe that is Zhou Guanyu, but Ricardo, he did pounce on us. Obviously, he did get that under. We kind of, well, he technically just overcutted us completely, but we lost out of that. We actually lost out of Bottas as well, so it's still very greasy, but it's not too bad. But we got to get these hard tires into the window now. Hard tires are impossible to warm up. It's impossible to warm up these tires in this year's game. And cold tires, again, it's like F122. You can really feel the cold tires. But here comes Gasly. Gasly, he backs out of that. Zhou Guanyu goes down the inside, which we've had a couple of good battles with Zhou Guanyu. That Sauber used to be pretty good in the beginning of the year, and then they kind of fell off like a rock, obviously, because that's where they are in real life. They're probably the worst team on the grid, and that is the worst car on the grid 100%. But we keep on going. And yeah, at this point, the hard tires, we just gotta get these warmed up, and especially these that front right is the main goal for me, because if we can get these warms up, I wish we kind of did some burnouts, but to be fair, we could have did burnouts at the pit lane exit, but we probably would have lost a little bit, and that is track limits warning. So that was I'll take that. That was very wide. As we head through P1, we go, and heading into the left and right hand of campus, and as we head through the next lap 8. I believe I said that corner wrong. I don't know yet. But Verstappen is flying. He's on a ticket. 152.2. And again, we're struggling to get the front tires warmed up. Especially the rears. They're not warming up very well either. But the front tires, they're screaming hell because they're not warming up whatsoever. But Bottas has pulled a decent gap. And that him staying out or him pitting a lap earlier helped us because he technically undercutted us. We almost got undercutted by our teammate as well, so that helped him out a lot, but we have to keep on going. But we're sitting P9 in this race, so guys that have yet to pit are the guys up there in the front. So Ricardo is technically the race leader provisionally right now, because I believe maybe if McLaren, Mercedes, and, well, to be fair, Haas is not even in the race at this point, but if they pit, I believe Ricardo could take P1, but Ricardo is cooking. And they have yet to pit, obviously, because again, they actually when they stayed on the hard tires, actually their race came to them. It's because again the track just dried off and fairly quickly, and that helped them out a lot. As to lap 9 we go, and well, to be fair, they're pulling a decent gap now. To be fair, they do have a pace advantage over all of us, but Ricardo's pulled a 4.4, but we're not really catching up to Bottas. We're really struggling to catch up to him, and again, we're down on power this weekend. The ICE is pretty warm up, but it's something to overtake Bottas by lap 14. That is the goal, because again, I know we're faster than the Sauber. I know we're faster than the Sauber. Albon goes set to 149.7. To be fair, that Williams is got some rapid straight line speed. But yeah, both Haas's have yet to pit, nor has Mercedes yet to pit. Everybody else down below though has pitted, and again, the sun is peeking out of the skies a little bit. There's the sun, so the sun has showed up. And this is going to make, well, I thought it was going to be a full wet race. It's not, because it's not a full wet race, so thank you. And I am happy about that, because, to be fair, we kind of needed that, let's just say that. But lap 12, about basically the halfway point of this race, well, we got into DRS range of Bottas. We've been pushing a lot on these laps. At this point, the wear is not too bad. The tire wear is not too bad around here. And this is kind of going to help us out. So my goal is to get around Bottas by lap 14. Obviously, I want to meet that target. But, yeah, purple sector 1. But, yeah, here come the guys in the pits. Mercedes have pitted. And McLaren has pitted. Ricardo is going to pounce on those two guys. And even me and Bottas. And Hamilton Now says P8. Yeah, Hamilton on the medium tires. So they go mediums, which to be fair, I did expect that. But Russell and that's actually one of the McLarens that did stay out. So Ricciardo is fighting for basically P2 in this race, and he's fighting that McLaren because again, that McLaren's gonna have a struggle to get warm up on the straights. But Bottas is provisionally in the podium places, but I don't know how good his speed is and where we're gonna stack up. But clearly, the McLarens, they have actually that helped us out. They helped them out a lot, and that is a retirement for Yuki Tsunoda in the RB. So Tsunoda is out of this Grand Prix. That is some sort of engine issue, but yeah, what a mixed up race that it's been, and you can see by this gap. And well, here comes our race leader, and Lando Norris takes the lead back, and now he's got a fight on his hands because Daniel Ricciardo sits into the podium places. So Norris in the lead. What a great camera shot as through Aruja Radion. Ricciardo sits P3, and well, there goes that. And lap 14 now. This is the opportunity to get Bottas. We couldn't get him on lap 14, but we're burning all the battery we got here. Very slow in the straights. We're not even getting a lot. The ICE is screaming in pain. We go down the inside of the Lecombe chicane. Do we get around Bottas? Bottas got the inside line. We got the outside line. I love myself the outside line as we go around and we get that move done. We jump ahead of the kick sauber of Bottas, and we live again. Whew. It's been a great race. Now that helped us. Now we're in P5. That's not bad. I'll take that. Very wide purple sector 1 because we burned so much battery. But yeah, this has been good racing so far. It's been a great race. Spa, you never fail to disappoint me to have a good race. I love this track. I'm gonna say it again. This track is awesome. Never get rid of it. I know it's got its dangerous moments, but again, this track is awesome. Great track. As we head down into the bus stop chicane, as we head through La Source for lap 15 of this race, but Ricciardo's actually lost back out to Piastri, so it looks like no shoey for Danny Rick, and it's not looking like a shoey, to be honest with you. So that is kind of unfortunate, but well, we got to pull a gap from Bottas, and that is the goal, to pull a decent gap on Bottas. And to be fair, it just depends on our straight line speed. It kind of just depends basically on the car, because well, this car is I gotta be nice. We're down on power. We don't got good engine, to be fair. Not great straight line speed, to be fair, at the same time. So again, to be fair, and where we are, I guess you could say we've lost out to, well, RB is basically, we're ahead of Williams, and even Haas is ahead of us in the performance index. They brought big upgrades, but we've been able to get around them. It seems like we're faster, obviously, and again, they've lost out. I mean, again, they put upgrades on the car, but we've capitalized on those teams putting upgrades on. Maybe they're just not getting the upgrades right, or straight up they just are crap. Who knows? And on lap 16 now, we're getting a little bit on. We're actually not getting a little bit on Daniel. We're a lot quicker than Daniel. So maybe Daniel lived his bullets completely, and well, he's kind of in that boat where his pace is not really that strong. But yeah, what a race it has been. And at this point, we're just kind of following Daniel through to see what happens. But 16 laps to go. We're not going to get a podium. It's kind of out the reach. As much as I love a podium, but yeah, we got a mixed up grid though, very mixed up grid. We'll take a look later on. We'll take a look later on in this race to see where everybody is. But yeah, they are really struggling, and there's a lot of big names back there. Both Ferraris, Red Bull, one of the Mercedes guys, Aston Martin. Like, they have struggled, and basically it's just two McLarens versus one Mercedes, because again, Hamilton can't even get through the field. I think it's just because they got a DRS train, obviously two Ferrari powered cars, and to be fair, two Ferrari customer teams are ahead of the works Ferrari car. If that doesn't sum up this race for you, I don't know what sums this up. And well, let's take a look, see where everybody is on the grid. But yeah, they're like, the Saubers, their pace is good. And yeah, Hamilton is in that train. Gasly's actually defending, and Haas have actually got in that train of Verstappen. I don't even think Max is in the points. He might be out of the points, to be fair with you. He honestly might be out of the points through there. I don't know. I think that he's maybe holding on by a skin of his teeth. But if he's not cautious enough, he might get overtaken by that Haas. And that's something to watch out for. But lap 19 we go. Daniel Ricciardo is now in our reach, and we haven't had many fights with Daniel. Daniel really hasn't showed up in this career mode save. I believe he's only had 1 points finish completely in this entire career mode save. Or this might be his only points finish. I don't know if Daniel even has a point on the board this season in this save. So he put us on the grass a little bit, but to be fair, that was kind of a dumb place to overtake. Heading through Blanchimont we go. But heading through the source now, we just sit back and we just kind of enjoy. I won't say enjoy, but we kind of just, you know, maybe sit back and get the DRS and just get a move on Daniel. But to be fair, we gotta kind of watch out where he is, because again, he could easily get us on the straights. But to be fair, I don't know how good that RB is on the straights. He's got some pretty good straight line speed, but he's burned a lot of battery. We save battery. We're gonna get around Daniel, so we sit P4 now. That is, this race has been crazy. This P4. That is actually that could be a tremendous result if we just keep on going. We actually overtake. We overtake Daniel, and Russell is at this point, he's out of reach. So we kind of just have to sit back and watch, heading into the next couple of corners. But very wide. That's actually, oh, so we got a penalty. No, what the hell happened there? That's a penalty. We got a 3-second penalty for track limits. That was very wide. That was punishing, man. What the oh my. No, we just right there. We like, it was a little bit, we ran out wide. That corner has been a struggle this weekend, let me tell you. And well, at this point we've been P5 is basically gonna be the result, it looks like, and that's 10 points to be fair compared to the 12. So we'll only be missing out on 2 points, but if we can pull a 3-second gap in about 1 lap, 2 laps to go, I'll be very surprised, but I doubt it. So heading to the last lap now, full beams, full push, full hot lap, full battery. Let's pull a gap. Let's see what we can do. This is, if you not remember, back in 2020, Ricciardo almost caught up to Verstappen at the end of the race. Well, picture us, but we're pulling a 3-second gap. So let's try. I'm not saying that we will, but if we get full beams, we might do it. So yeah, what a race this has been. Last lap of the Grand Prix. Gasly is sitting in points positions, I believe, and I believe one of the Haas's have overtaken the Red Bull of Verstappen. So if that is true, I believe Verstappen could be out of the points, because if the Saubers are sitting 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, maybe 10th, maybe Verstappen has lost a point, because Mercedes is in the train as well. Mercedes, I believe, is behind the Saubers. So what a race this has been, but we're not really pulling a gap from behind. So yeah, and again, maybe I could burn some more track limits, because maybe we can, but I don't want to do that because I kind of want to keep it in the line. So this is kind of a fast lap attempt. But yeah, maybe I got to burn some more battery. But heading into, I believe heading into Stavelot, it's gonna be, it looks like it's gonna be P5, but we pulled, well, 2.2, 2.3, so it's close. We just got to burn all the overtake. But again, the AI, they obviously burn a lot on the towards the end of their race, which makes sense because you want to burn all the battery. But Lando Norris is going to win for McLaren. He gets P1 ahead of George Russell and ahead of Oscar Piastri. Now we're going to come home, cross checker flag. We pulled a not so good gap as we come across. We're losing the back end a little bit. Very slow on the tires, and oh, the tires are kind of dead, and we've lost out to P4. But that is P5 in the Alpine. That's not even bad. I'll take that.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checker flag and wins.
To overcome the difficult circumstances they face throughout this race today, Crofty, it's not easy, and it really shows a lot of maturity. And you can use this, you can draw on this as a driver moving forward and boost your confidence through the rest of the championship.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the McLaren team, and I'm very happy to see them there on that top step of the podium.
Little Lando gets a win. I don't know if that is his first win of the season. I honestly don't know. I wish I knew, but won this save. But yeah, Lando wins. George Russell comes home P2, and his teammate Oscar Piastri comes home P3. But yeah, what a crazy race that was. Those three right there, they gambled. They went hard. They went to the hard tire at the start, and well, they checked out. And well, that just showed why maybe some days it's good to gamble. And it looks like it started. Well, no, that's just a glitch. That's just a thing that happens after the race. It starts in your starting conditions, but maybe it started raining again in Spa. There was really no rain forecast for the rest of the race. Who knows if a red flag happened, what would have happened. But yeah, Lando wins. We come home P5. We miss out. Daniel was in the range towards the end, but yeah, we got Aussie 3 and 4th. Gasly comes home P8. Magnussen gets Verstappen on the Camel straight. But yeah, what a result! Big points for Sauber. Big points for RB. Good point for Haas. I don't know if they even have points on the board this season, but that might be their first points on the board. But yeah, some people struggled, some people didn't. But well, we're P9, and I see why we're in the running for that Mercedes seat. Now, to be fair, they're P8 and P10, but again, George Russell going P2 in that Mercedes, it's got some promise. That car has had some promise, so maybe if we keep on going, maybe we earn ourselves that drive. But yeah, Ricardo almost to Gasly, so Ricardo that is not his first points position, or not his first points of the season, but he's tied with Bottas. And well, yeah, so Sargent and Hulkenberg get to score points, and Haas now have 4 on the board. So yeah, well, that was a race, and that's gonna be it for today's video, y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. Again, chugging out as much content as I can for career mode because I gotta catch up on it. But yeah, have a good rest of your day, y'all. Be safe out there. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see y'all in the next one.